Blessings, welcome forward to Reasonings right here at Seala. I'm your host, the great Owl, in the presence of my co-host, Brother Ramon Singh. Perfect love. Perfect love. Brother Singh, we've started a series on the onset of 2022, and we're looking at the attributes of love. Because personally, when you started defining it that day, I thought it was going to be like maybe 3 or 4 videos, right? And then you said, no man, all of them are all of the attributes of love. Kind of makes sense. We would have just started them here and then leave out all of them here. But my fear was I already know how people's reaction is to love, because the videos on this channel about love, they are the lowest videos, and I've mentioned it before. They are the lowest. See, I bring it back up. They are the lowest viewership on this channel, are the videos that talk about love. If you don't, me go and look at it. Type in love on this channel and you'll see. So I was already thinking about that on the onset of the series, and I'm explaining another one of the video that it kind of touched me that obviously it was such a low response. Be that as it may, the Lord has, I would say, motivated my spirit with the truth. You don't have to put nothing in front of my eyes. That's the truth, feed me. And so we're at the final installment, and we're not happy that we're at the final installment, but we're happy with what it says. It says, love never ends. Because, I mean, the previous one was saying love endures all, and then it kind of was coming through again, but love never ends. So we are at the point where we're examining the essence of love never ends. So the quickest thing I would like to say, at the previous video, in the end, we were talking about Christ's sacrifice for the souls of the living. That knowing that he was going to go through that, if we knew, would it be so easy for us to decide? And we came to the understanding that it could only be love, because what could it really be that would make you know that people are going to kill you, destroy you for doing absolutely good things? Hallelujah. Not bad things, not almost bad things, pure good things. And you're going to kill you for that, and you're going to still do it. Love never ends. I don't know a perfect example of love never. I'm not going to use none of my intellect right there, brother.
Yeah, love never ends, man. If you say there's not an ending point to love, and say after this point is where I stop loving. After this point is where I stop loving you. After this point is where I stop love. There's no point in where I stop love. Love never ends. You know, 'cause God is love, you know?
Yes.
And God is eternal.
Yes.
So love never ends.
Yes.
And the attributes of love never ends.
Absolutely not.
It's a constant practice, a constant doing, a constant knowing. It's a constant thinking of just pure love, perfect love.
Perfect love.
Perfect love never ends. No matter what situation, we can't make love end. We can't make our next one make our mind change to war and hate, hatred, envy. You know? We can't make somebody upset with so much that love ends in that person.
Wow.
For you, for them.
Yes.
You know? That's like the person crossed the line.
Yes.
I will never love that person anymore. You know? Or never again. Or ever. I will never love. No. God so for love with enemy. With enemy, you know.
Yes.
You see me?
That
means that the person who we hate in our earth.
Yes.
The person who we don't want to see.
Yes.
We don't want to hear them name. God require we to love them, because as we come back, if you have hatred in your heart for somebody in earth, it is seen as murder in the eyes of the Most High. And the Most High not going to accept that in eternity. That hateful energy, hatred. You know, that non-loving energy.
Yeah, that spiteful spirit.
You see me? So the devil put situations in front of us to get we out of order, out of love, out of perfect alignment, into bad behaviors, negative speech, negative thinking, negative actions all day long.
Wow.
Because what?
Suffering.
We not truly understand love. It's so deep, and as I say, people not interested to find out the true deepness of love. Them prefer to just say, boy, let me just watch a soap opera, and that is love.
Yes, yes.
You know? I just say, I love you, and that is love. But love so deep than just saying, I love you. Or just typing a heart emoji.
Yes, yes.
And I say, love, heart. Or even just saying perfect love.
Yes, yes. Or even being favorable towards the people that we are affectionate towards. It's not just giving out gifts and favors. Because people see that as love too.
True.
If you open doors for them, if you give them favors, if you make opportunities, if you are affectionate towards them, it is misconstrued as love. It's more closer, that love is more sex nowadays than it is of any principle. Because, you know, in everything, the Spirit was making me add a specific point. And I ran it through a couple of the videos, so I guess it's coming back in the Spirit to put it back here. That when we say love, we're talking about the attributes of love. We're not just talking about the manifestations of affection. That affections can happen without a loving nature. Because people can be affectionate towards you because of the pleasures that you bring by being affectionate, right? So the essence of it is now true kindness, right? And true love is not as a result of being in the benefit of the gifts or the kindness of someone. So principle is what the Lord wanted me to say several times during this series. That love is principle, and that's why He wanted me to say odorless, colorless, genderless, ageless, right? And I was leaving the ageless out, and I went home and he reminded me that He did say the colorless, He did say the odorless, and you did say the genderless, right? And you did say, if not one point, flawless. But you did not say ageless. And why we need to say ageless, it is principle. From a young child to an old man, an old woman. It is principle. That means that you could be 75 years old, be very experienced in earth, and is without love because you have not fulfilled not one of the principles that we call the attributes of love. That if a 7-year-old child can fulfill those principles, there will be a loving, compassionate child. Not just affectionate, truly loving, truly compassionate. And so principle is why love never ends. Because the principles never end. God is principle. And the principle is that which is eternal, which is truthful, that which cannot be interpreted. It's just what it is. It brings value to all application. And what is the principle we should be most concerned about? It starts with patience. And we come through all of its tenets and realize that another powerful one in it is kindness. Then we go further to realize that it does not rejoice in wrongdoing. We also realize that it bears all, that it has a way of covering the suffering of others. Yes, it also does that too, right? And it also has a sense of, it's not irritating. So it might have a point to bring, but it's not irritating. So you might be right, but be more mindful of how you are coming across while being right than you are about being concerned with being right. Because being right is one thing. People will not only remember what you say, but how you said it to them. Put it the next way. People will always remember how you made them feel. And so loving is more codified under feeling. And so if a person has a loving vibration, you know more than not you are going to remember them. So when you carry the dirty, negative, hateful, confusing vibrations that rob people of the sense of belonging, of feeling welcome, of feeling that they are valued, or that they have value to add to a situation, when you bring out those vibrations, people remember pain, anger, suffering, and so they are more loveless. And people will tend to dismiss and disregard such people. When you approach things with a more loving manner, it really will not end. because maybe 5 years after you did a truthful, loving act, that if it's truthful and loving, it doesn't die in the moment, because it's a spirit, it's principle. Where two or more are gathered, remember that it's like it adds heft to things, it brings increase. So it builds amongst those people that you carried a good word. You spend some time amongst the community and you did some work with them. Out of the trueness of your heart. It's not because you came as a done man and gave away 50 million in the community, yeah, to make people affectionately draw to you because of power. But you did something that saved, 10 people's families, 20 people's families. You saved their children from becoming the victims that we hear about on the news. You save their young ladies from premature pregnancy. You save their young daughters, from abortions. You save them from ruining their lives. You save their young men from irresponsible life, right? By being who you are, by being loving, by being kind, by probably doing a youth fellowship, a sports group, that the Lord is your anchor, your anchorage, your mentor, your rooting, and that's what you're sharing, the love of God. And that frequency, people will never forget that. So I am seeing that I've benefited from the love of people who, like Christ, were willing to sacrifice their time and effort without economic benefit to aid others. So love doesn't end. And that means that love is also inside of you, no matter how loveless you're acting. So you're loveless, so we're going to drop off that less they are for the love and just add a little more to it and start love more. So instead of being loveless, you're going to love more and be more loving, right? So it's just effort. So challenge yourself, Challenge those thoughts, because we know we got some loveless things about it. People hurt us, loved one hurt us, intimate friends hurt us, close relationship hurt us, business partners hurt us, community members hurt us, the nation, state, governmental system oppresses us, prejudice and racism. But because love don't end, beyond all of that, it's a word named forgiveness, Brother Singh, and that comes with behavior too.
Yeah, forgiveness for true one. Forgiveness play a big role in life, because many things will happen to hurt us and make us lose faith in people, faith in humanity, change with perception on life. But we can't make the love end in our heart. Many people who hurt in the past or cut off completely and it end in bad terms. Sometimes we have to call them up, man, and ask for forgiveness.
True that.
Tell them, say, boy, it did upon your heart and you never like how it end. And if we can just find peace and forgiveness, let them know, say, you forgive them and you are asked for forgiveness from them.
Absolutely.
Be the big one and step up and do the right thing. Sometimes I'm not for wait for somebody else to make the move. Sometimes we to make the move, and that is showing the love. The love no end.
Absolutely.
When them go on with them antics, the love never end.
Love the way
you see me?
Yes.
Yes, I.
So, because we had so much beautiful, long, well-presented, deeply truthful, emotional sharings, this video isn't so much about the length, but it's just about the reminder to you that love never ends. So even though you might think that in some situations there can be no more love coming out of it, no more favor coming out of it, no more peace coming out of it, we're saying that's not true. You might be going through your season of your darkness right now. You might be going through your season of your rocky terrain. But as in all things, if it endures because you have enough belief, enough faith, enough patience in it, right? That some irritating moments did come, some annoying moments did come. You did get a little arrogant and ignorant as well too, at some points. But then you kind of picked up yourself, and then you're growing, you're enduring. So if you can see your behavior slowly transform, and you can see that the idea that something other than what you've been going through is possible, then add it up a little bit more, calculate a little bit more and say, love is possible too. And you know what? I'm so much speaking to myself too. I'm be honest. Because I've been through some rough things, you know. And I say to myself, it's because of my spirituality. And I cover it under my spirituality. But at the same time, I say to myself, I ain't taking that chance again. Because my spirituality makes me more defensive, because I'm saying, if somebody's willing to hurt you because the devil's willing to use them as a means to break down your fears or break down your stances, then you got, when you see certain things happen, I was talking to you personally about it, I get very defensive. So I'm not easily going to say, oh, I'm just going to be so forgiving and, you know, just sweep it all under the rug. So it takes process within me to do this. And it's a conscious process that I need to understand that when I've been through that hurt and been through that pain, I must let go of what I've been looking at as the experience. Because it's just like if I keep seeing that in my mind, then the space that love needs to occupy is being occupied by past hurts, pain, confusion, shame, jealousy, inadequacy, vulnerability. But until that comes out of there, then love won't come back in. But enough times I'm going through it and I'm feeling that I've been hurt too much to trust in relationships. Because it's not that the people aren't good people. It's that when I'm usually in these intimate relationships with women, it's not that they're not good people, but I recognize something fundamentally in people, Brother Singh, and I have to say it. I bring out a question in you. Are you truly of the living God? Hey, are you for yourself, for God? Are you for the devil? If a person is for themselves, sometimes, Brother Singh, I will take some time with them and work it out. Because I've been selfish too, to a degree. Because I feel like I was depraved. So I felt entitled to something. Somebody for myself. You see, if my sister here is for the devil, I'm not care who I'm vexing me for this, man or woman. So in my most intimate relationship, if I suspect that woman is allowing too much of the devil's consciousness into her activity, I shut doors. And that has caused me to cut off a lot of people intimately and not trust. Because I know the enemy knows your weakness more than you. And he knows who to push as a trigger in your life. Those closest to you are the intimate triggers. And believe me, when them push, I feel it. And it caused me to shut off. So this is one thing I'm admitting right now. At the end of this series, I'm admitting it. And I've been closing off. Because when you let someone into a place that I am so weary about, because when you call on the name of Yeshua, some of us are coming from hell people. Some of us the devil hound away. Them off away every single second. They don't like. He don't like the fact I'm talking about Yeshua. Every opportunity that he can get to drag me down, he will. He has. So I go through some deep pains that I cannot share here, that I would never share here, right? But that's how I know, and you hear me off camera, you know this. That's why my faith is not shaken, because I know what I go through, and I know it's not me bring me out. I know them want me dead, and I know they have used women too, hey, as the weapons to bring me down, because it still reflects a vulnerability in me. And what was the vulnerability? Of truly looking for love divine in another human being. And if millions of you will not admit that to yourself, that you are hurt because you thought you had love divine most closest to you, and when you found out it was another trap, another trigger, another lie, it cut you. It cut you so deep, you stop trusting God, and you stop loving. It attacked my faith. I questioned God. Brother Singh said a word in one of the videos, and it was an answer from God to me. But he didn't have to know that. I was the one, hey, that was asking. I was in the turmoil. So my point in all of that is saying, if I truly believe God is love, and that love never ends, how could love and a loving experience have ended in those bad relationships? Those relationships ended, and that's what I needed to accept. The relationship has ended. Those moments I thought was internal intimacy has ended. Love has not ended, because God is love. And if I have God with me, then I have love with me. And yeah, I will love again in that intimate sense with all trust. It's just now at the moment, I'm being reminded, I'm being informed of that. Because I need to be informed of it. Because I'm not feeling too confident about it. So this series has been an help, hallelujah, in that way. And I wasn't going to share it now. But he told me to share it this morning when I was leaving our seminar, I shared that to him. But here I am sharing it because it matters. So this topic is what dried out of me. This is a reminder, if we are of the kingdom of light, if we believe in Yod He Vav He with all our heart, mind, body, and spirit, knowing that God is love, how could God, being love, deny us that which is His natural nature? And if it is only in our denying of this love that we lack it in ourselves, then the acknowledging of it and the accepting of the principle would make it again functional in our lives. And so this is what I believe. That show me say, yeah, the devil beat me and him jump in on my fears in intimacy. And he might beat me with it. But give thanks to the Lord, jump in through this video series. And it's showing me that, yeah, love not done. Let go that bad feeling, thought, bad experience. Love isn't over. If you conflate love with experiences and affection, then when affection ceases and experience ceases, you say love done. And that you say, brother, say, love not done. It not end. It's not ended. That experience has ended.
True.
But love continues. Brother, sing before we're out of here.
Yeah. Love never ends, you know. And the Most High love never ends towards us. So no matter how you think the Most High probably not interested in your life, you know, or don't love you, we need to remember the Most High love each and every one of us.
Okay.
100%. Not some love, not piece of love. Him love you with all of him heart. You see me? So we need to remember, say, Most High love never ends towards us. Him love the person, him love him child, but he might not like the sin. He might not like the bad behaviors, but him love him child. He's a child, you know. Because a child have bad behaviors, you're not going to love him, you know? Yes, sir.
All right, just like the brother said. He loves his own. He loves all his children. And from that divine love, love divine, we are born. And so that agape love, it's joyful to find it in its filial, platonic stage. It's good to find it in its passionate eros stage. And it's awesome to have it in the agape, unconditional love. So towards the most unconditional enduring of love that never ceases, in Yod He Vav He, in Yahasha, Yeshua, and Mashiach, we give thanks and we implore you, grow in the loving divine nature of that love divine that has kept us here in the spirit of salvation, bringing us into the kingdom of eternal life through Christ, Yeshua. So until next time, it's been a great hour. These things right here at the Trail Light on this wonderful series of love in the presence of brother Ramon Singh, my co-host, right here.
Perfect love. Perfect love.
A patient love is the one who shows concern. A faithful love is the one who shows concern. You gotta live your life unlearned. A faithful love is the one who shows concern. A patient love is the one who shows concern. You got to live your life and learn.